Hi, I'm Elsa from California. Please like and subscribe. I was born to one of the most beautiful women in the world. Yeah, everyone thinks about their moms. But in my case, it was actually true. Everyone said so, and I was just like her. Dad adored us both, and we lived in a beautiful house. Life was good, almost perfect. But when I was 14, everything changed. One day, I slipped on something on the pavement outside and fell to the ground. And when I woke up, I discovered that I had small scars all over my face, and the doctors said they may never go away completely. I was in shock for a few days. Once the scars were healed, Mom took me to the mall to buy makeup. But just putting on some concealer wasn't helping much. You could still see them. The next few days, I spent hours watching YouTube makeup tutorials. I studied the way makeup artists transform their faces with layers of makeup. And once I'd applied it on myself, my parents were stunned.
Elsa, I hardly recognize you. But honey, the stuff will rub off when you play outside.
True, so I guess I won't be doing that anymore. A week later, my parents sat me down for a talk.
Elsa, we have some difficult news. Our company is not doing well and we'll have to sell the house while we're taking care of all this. We think it's best that you go to my sister in Seattle for a while.
Honestly, it was a lot to take in, but a part of me was relieved. I'd never met my aunt or been to Seattle, but it meant a fresh start where no one knew what I looked like before. 2 days later, I flew to Seattle, and a driver picked me up at the airport. Aunt's house was basically a mansion. I knew Aunt owned a skincare company, but I had no idea she was so rich. A maid led me to my room, and as I was unpacking, I suddenly jumped when I saw someone's reflection in the mirror. It was a really strange woman with an odd nose and an unpleasant expression. Hi, can I help you?
Help me? How would you help me when you've come to live on my charity?
Wait, this woman was my aunt? She looked nothing like Mom. Oh, I'm sorry, Aunt. I've just never seen any pictures of you.
Of course. Why would your vain mother keep pictures of me? All she ever cared about was herself and her looks. Judging by all the makeup on your face, I guess that's what she taught you too.
Not exactly. Since I'll be living with you, you might as well know. I took a wet tissue and cleaned the makeup off my face. Aunt stared at me, and then she started laughing.
Oh, ha ha ha! This must bother your mother so much. She couldn't even stand it if she had a tiny pimple. She was obsessed with perfection.
Well, she's not like that now.
Huh, really? I'm guessing it was her idea to get you all this makeup? Trust me, I know your mother better than you do.
With that, she just turned and left. Well, yeah, Mom had bought me the makeup, but it was what I wanted too. Aunt was just weird. And over the next few days, I realized she was really weird. She'd ask me to do the oddest tasks.
I only eat the blue candies, so pick them out and throw the rest away. Get me 6 blueberry muffins from the bakery, and then pick out all the blueberries. I'm allergic. You have to read me 22 pages every night before I go to sleep.
I tried doing whatever she asked, but then one night, she woke me up by calling me.
I need 3 apples from the tree down the road.
You need them now? It's 3 a.m. I'm not going, Aunt. And I hung up. But moments later, she appeared in my bedroom.
If I were you, I'd do what you're told, Elsa.
I've been doing that, but I think you're just enjoying torturing me.
You and your parents owe me. They're nearly bankrupt, and I've been sending them money and also offered to send you to school. So I want those apples now.
I climbed out of bed and went out. I didn't realize my parents were in so much trouble, and I didn't want to add to their stress. I got some relief from her when I started school. I was looking for my class the first day when a boy approached me.
Are you new here? You look lost.
Yeah, I'm extremely lost. His name was Christoph, and he was really nice. He showed me the way to my class, and as we parted, he said,
Hope I get to see you around later.
Maybe Seattle would be bearable after all. As I was looking for an empty seat, a gorgeous girl waved at me.
You come and sit right here, new girl. I'm Tracy, and honestly, I'm the only person worth knowing in this class. Everyone else is boring. By the way, I just love your makeup.
Wow, this Tracy was definitely full of herself. But she was kind of fun, and soon we started hanging out every day. A few weeks later, she proposed a sleepover, but it had to be at my house. Sure, but be warned, my aunt is weird. The night started off pretty fun, but then Tracy turned to me and said,
I want to know how you do your makeup. Here, use this to take it off and show it to me from the start.
Before I could reply, I heard Aunt yelling,
Elsa, I can't find my underwear. Help me find it.
When I got to her room, I found her sitting on the bed.
Don't show that girl your face without makeup. Ever.
Why not? And wait, how did you know what we were talking about?
Not important. Now listen to me. I own a skincare company, and I promise everyone perfect, flawless skin. I can't have customers knowing that my own niece is, well, not perfect. It will be bad for my brand.
So I'm just supposed to hide my face from my friend?
Please don't make me remind you about everything I'm doing for you and your parents.
Yeah, I won't tell anyone. I went back and told Tracy I was tired and wanted to sleep.
You're not going to take your makeup off first?
Nope, it'll last me another day. Luckily, Tracy didn't push it, and I was glad to have her as a friend. But the best part about school was Christoph. One time, he caught me looking at the track team's flyer.
Do you like to run?
I think it's something I could like.
I love running. Race you to the gym.
You're on! Suddenly, he sprinted, and I followed, but he was too fast. When I finally caught up with him, he was leaning against the water cooler.
Amateur!
I didn't say I was a superstar.
But you had fun, didn't you?
Before I could say yes, I wiped sweat off my forehead and saw my makeup start to run. Oh, no, I gotta go! I ran like crazy and only stopped when I reached the bathroom. I was able to fix my makeup just in time. But when I was leaving for home that day, Christoph caught up with me.
Hey, why'd you run off like that before?
Before I could reply, a car honked loudly, and it was my aunt calling out to me. Why are you here?
I can't pick up my favorite niece now. And who's that boy?
Just a friend.
You're obviously lying. You like him. Well, don't tell him about your real face if you want him to like you back.
Maybe not everyone's as shallow as you, Aunt.
Oh, yes, they are. Trust me, I know. I got mocked for my appearance all the time. I couldn't change other things, but I could change my skin. And I really did with my creams. But unfortunately, you only have makeup, and that rubs off.
She made me so mad. But what if she was right? Maybe Christoph wouldn't like me if he knew the truth. But something totally unexpected happened the next day. Tracy had bought some new foundation, and she kept insisting at lunch that I try it. I told you, I don't want to take my makeup off right now.
Can you drop it? Why are you like this? It's weird that you never take off your makeup in front of anyone. It's almost pathetic.
Suddenly I felt mad. I'm pathetic? What about you? Is there anything even real about you?
I'm more real than you are.
Really? Are your eyelashes real? And what about your nose job? Is this even real? I tugged on her hair just for effect, but suddenly half of it ended up in my hands. Oh God! I had no idea Tracy wore hair extensions.
You knew, didn't you? Yeah, I'm insecure about my hair. You're insecure about your skin. But I'd never take your makeup off like that.
How would I know? I'm sorry. But it was too late. Everyone had seen me. They all thought I was a bully now and had exposed Tracy's secret on purpose. I tried to apologize, but Tracy completely ignored me. No one else was talking to me either. And even worse, Christoph was being cold to me. Hey, it seems like you've been avoiding me.
Well, yeah, I have. That was a really messed up thing you did to Tracy.
I promise I didn't know.
I'm not sure I believe that. How could you not know? She's your best friend. You're just not who I thought you were.
That hurt me more than anything else. I felt super lonely, so I just started having my lunch in an empty classroom while watching AVATA videos on YouTube. It was the only thing that made me feel better. A few days later, I saw Christoph going into the gym, and I decided I'd tell him everything so that he could get to know the real me. He hadn't seen me yet, and just then, he started rolling up his pants. He had scars all over his legs. Suddenly, he realized I was right behind him.
Elsa, you weren't supposed to see that. Please don't tell anyone. It happened in an accident and no one knows.
Christoph, I would never tell anyone. I wouldn't even have done that to Tracy if I'd known the truth about her hair.
I want to believe you, but I don't think you understand what being insecure about something feels like. You look so perfect all the time.
And then I wiped off my makeup to show him my real face.
Oh, Elsa, I had no idea. You're beautiful. Thank you for showing me.
He pulled me into a tight hug, and for the first time since my accident, I felt seen and accepted. Accepted as me. The next day at school, I came with my makeup as usual. But Kristoff showed up in shorts, exposing his legs for the world to see. What was he doing?
Elsa, I wanted to thank you. When you showed me your scars yesterday, I just became less afraid to show mine. I don't want to hide them anymore.
I don't know what to say, especially because I haven't been so open about my own scars.
Maybe you can take your makeup off now. We can take this step together.
I wish I could, but I can't let anyone see me without makeup. I told him how my witch aunt had instructed me to never take off my makeup in public, or she'd stop helping my family.
We can keep it a secret as long as you reapply it before you go home. She won't know, right?
At first, most of the kids at school didn't even recognize me without makeup. When they realized who it was, they were stunned. But I was surprised by how many people told me I was brave. Tracy looked shocked when I walked up to her. Here's my secret. Will you believe me now? That I would never have let yours out on purpose?
Yeah, I suppose you wouldn't.
I thought things were finally back to normal. But the next day, I was about to go home when someone told me to check Tracy's Facebook page. She'd posted a picture of me without makeup in a caption that said, "I guess Ms. Perfect isn't perfect after all." Wow, so she hadn't forgiven me after all. I was gonna kick her butt the next day. But when I got home, Aunt was waiting for me, looking like a tiny dragon.
You want to explain this picture to me?
Not really. You were wrong about everyone, Aunt. No one judges me for my scars. In fact, they think I'm awesome for not hiding them. And Kristoff thinks I'm beautiful just the way I am.
They're lying. They're laughing behind your back. And you messed up big time by not listening to me. I'm gonna withdraw you from that school and stop sending money to your parents.
Excuse me, what's this about you sending us money?
Aunt and I turned around in shock to see Mom behind us.
Elsa, has she been treating you badly? Why didn't you tell me?
When I told her everything, Mom was furious.
You petty, petty woman. As if you'd ever offer a single penny to anyone. I've been sending you money for Elsa's school. I know you've always envied me, but I didn't think you'd stoop so low and take it out on my daughter.
And why would I envy you? I'm successful and have all the money in the world.
Yeah, but you're gonna rot alone in this mansion. Good luck.
Mom took my hand, and we left. I was so glad to be out of that house.
Honey, our business is doing much better now. And we even found a house. I came to get you so that you could see it before we bought it.
I'm so happy things are better, Mom. But do you think we could move to Seattle? I finally feel like I fit in here. Mom looked really surprised.
Yeah, I think we can do that. But are you sure?
I thought about Kristoff and smiled. Yeah, I'm sure.
Hi, my name is Luna, aka the Vampire Girl, and it's all because I had the meanest parents. But before I continue, please like and subscribe. I grew up in a normal family in a small town in the Netherlands. But as I got older, I realized that my parents were not just normal. They were actually weirdos. I had never seen them leave the house, like going out for work or buying supplies. What was most annoying was that they often whispered to each other about something extremely mysterious. You might wonder how we could survive. Well, a box of supplies would mysteriously arrive every week, and I had never seen the delivery man. Every day, Dad would spend hours reading the newspaper and circling stuff on it with a red marker. Once, when I was 3, I was trying to warn my dad that there was a spider about to crawl over his breakfast, but he kept ignoring me, so I leapt onto the table and put my foot in his bowl, spilling it all over his newspaper, and Dad went bonkers.
Oh my god, do you realize what you've done?
Spider, spider!
You're just Spider, idiot! Just leave me alone!
Mom, hug! Hug!
You, stay away from me. Didn't I buy you a bunch of stuffed animals? Go back to your room and hug them.
Gosh, I wished I could just leave them forever. They didn't even love me. We never had any visitors, but my grandma. But when I was 5, Grandma came to see us once and she brought me an adorable cat. I was so happy. A rare creature is about to live in my house. But of course my parents are just being themselves.
We already have Luna. It's hard enough to take care of her. No, just take it back, please, Mom.
No freaking way! I ran up to my room with the cat and slammed the door shut. But when I woke up in the morning, my cat had flown away, even though it didn't have wings. I looked all over the house. Nothing. I just knew my parents had gotten rid of it. I screamed and cried, but they said they didn't know anything. Liars! I made a bold decision to run outside and search for my kitten. This was the first time I was breaking my family's rules. But that didn't matter anymore, because I had decided I was never going back to this house. It was a really sunny day, and as I kept running, my skin suddenly started turning really red and itchy.
Oh, my body's getting scorched by the sun!
I let out one huge scream and fainted. When I woke up, I was lying on my bed. In the room were the doctor and my parents. The doctor said I had a rare condition and advised my parents to absolutely prevent me from any exposure to sunlight.
See? That's what happens when you don't take our advice.
No, that's not true. That can't be right. My parents might be weird, but doctors aren't. Besides, the sun almost killed me, and I never want to go through that horrible feeling again. So after that, I refused to let a single ray of sunlight touch my body, not even indoors. I covered myself from tip to toe, socks, trek pants, hoodie, and a face mask. Only my eyes were visible. The weirdest people like my parents almost fainted when they first saw me running around the house like a little ninja. From nightfall is when I felt safe to remove my costume. I never go outside during the day because I think the outfit isn't thick enough. I even insisted on being homeschooled. But when I turned 15, my parents decided to let me attend regular school.
Are you serious? Do you want me to die? I'm allergic to the sun, you know.
I'm fed up with that ninja outfit. After all these years, your condition is probably completely healed by now.
I'd rather jump off a cliff than listen to you.
If you keep behaving this way, I swear I'll send you to your aunt's place in Norway. There's only sunlight there for 6 months.
Gosh, they were unbelievable, and they thought I didn't know about their plan.
Fine, but don't think I won't wear this costume to school. I will!
It's been years since you last walked in the sun. I can feel the heat slowly getting inside. And when people say you're weirdos for dressing me up like this, just know that you asked for it. I joined school in the 10th grade, and the minute I entered the classroom, everybody started laughing and whispering things like weirdo and freak. I chose the seat farthest from the window and kept my mask on all the time. In lunch break, I waited for everyone to leave the cafeteria before I went in, but suddenly a girl came up and slapped me on the shoulder. It was Jessie.
Luna, right? I'm just curious, why are you dressed like a garbage bag?
I'm ugly. I don't want everyone to laugh at me.
She started laughing and just left. I knew that if I said I was allergic to the sun, I would definitely get into trouble. Soon enough, I discovered she was the meanest girl around and would pick on me every chance she got, throwing snakes into my backpack, hiding all the toilet paper when I used the restroom. Another day, I solved a math problem on the board, and as I was returning to my seat, I slipped on some water and fell on the floor.
That's where your place is anyway, weirdo!
I ignored Jessie's stupid pranks, but one day she went too far. I was standing in the shade enjoying a baseball game when suddenly Jessie came out and snatched my mask. I lost my balance and fell off the bleachers. I quickly pulled my hoodie over my face.
You're a crazy freak!
I snapped at Jessie and bit down hard on her hand. Jessie let out a pained scream.
Ah, help! Let me go! You sun-phobic vampire!
And that's how I got my name, Vampire Girl. I could hear people calling me a monster, but I didn't care. At least the bullies were a little scared of me now. A few days later, a new kid joined our class named Luca. His outfit had a bit of a medieval vibe, which made Jessie and her minions laugh uncontrollably when they saw him. They'd found their new target. I joined him in the cafeteria at lunch that day and we started talking. I found out that he was the new janitor's son. He was really sweet and never even said I was crazy when I told him about my condition. I was so happy to have made a friend. But one day, as I was walking down the hallway, I found Jessie and her friends surrounding Luca. She threw the cake on the floor and arrogantly said,
Oops! You can clean this up, Luca. I mean, you'll grow up to be a janitor like your dad, right? Come on, just sit down and wipe it with your butt.
Hey, jerk! Stop it! Didn't you promise last time that you wouldn't bully him anymore? Looks like that bite was too gentle, huh? I'll make sure it's way worse this time if you don't get out of here immediately.
Jessie rolled her eyes at me, but when I leapt forward, she actually screamed and went running. Luca thanked me, and I always made sure to stick close to him after that. But then, one day, Luca and I had just entered the classroom after recess when Jessie started screaming like crazy.
OMG, my brand new iPhone! It's gone! Someone stole it!
And then she pounced on Luca and grabbed him by his shirt.
You must have done it, you little janitor! You beggar, you thief! Where is it?
Hey, knock it off you! You have no proof!
I'll get the proof, girl!
She snatched his bag and started throwing out all his things. I grabbed her hair and she turned around and attacked me. We got into a huge fight, and just then the principal walked in. Jesse screamed, insisting that Luca was the culprit and that he had hidden the loot inside his locker. Of course, the principal found nothing there. However, Luca was left humiliated in front of everyone. He seemed very upset, with his face down on the desk. I caught up with him after school. Hey Luca, are you okay? Jessie is such a witch. I hate rich people. They always look down on us like we're not even human.
Maybe she called me a thief just because I'm poor. Maybe we don't belong here.
Luca, wait! And he just walked away. He didn't come to school the next day, and his dad was nowhere to be seen either. A week passed, and there was still no sign of them. I felt worried, but I didn't know where he lived. But then I remembered Luca talking about how his dad also worked at a restaurant in the evening, so I decided to go talk to him. As I was walking down the street one night without my mask or hoodie, I saw a masked guy running towards me, and suddenly he started snatching my bag as I tried to get away. I lunged at his face and pulled his mask off, and I nearly fell back in shock. It was Luca. But before I could say anything, he ran away. I couldn't believe my eyes. What's going on? Luca really is a thief. Jessie was right. I felt betrayed. What I didn't expect was that Luca showed up at school 2 days later, but I just ignored him. But when he kept following me and asking me what was wrong, I suddenly lost it. I'll tell you! The girl you robbed the other night on the street, that was me! He looked horrified.
You, I didn't know. I've never seen your face.
Whether it's me or not doesn't matter. The real issue is that you're a liar and a thief. I really made a mistake trusting and fighting for you. Suddenly he started weeping like a baby.
I didn't want to steal. Luna, but I just had no choice. My dad's in the hospital. We needed the money. I'm so sorry, but I swear I didn't steal Jessie's phone. I've never stolen anything until that night.
He kept crying and my heart went out to him. I'm sorry about your dad. Why didn't you tell me and everyone? Let me help you now, but promise me you'll never steal anything again.
I don't want to bother you. I don't want everyone to see me as poor or suspect me of stealing.
Don't worry about that, Luca. People are better than you think. I immediately went to talk to the school principal. Together, we planned a fundraiser for Luca's dad. Within a day, we raised all the money Luca needed for his dad's treatments and even more. The biggest donors were Jessie's parents. They kept praising me at the fundraiser for arranging the event, and this made Jessie even angrier.
Don't let it get to your head, Luna. You're still a freak and you could never be me.
As if I want to be. What's so special about you anyway, other than being super dumb?
Excuse you. I've been prom queen for the last 2 years. You could never.
Oh, that's cool, but things changed once I got involved.
Haha, seriously, it's prom, not some freak Halloween show. You'll never beat me, stupid vampire.
Luca whispered into my ear.
Don't argue with the girl who hasn't even seen your face!
I bought a beautiful dress for prom since it's tonight. It was the first time anyone in school would be seeing me without my mask and hoodie. As soon as I entered the hall, I saw people turning around and asking each other who I was. Just then, Luca came to me and took my arm.
Luna, you're so gorgeous today.
That's Luna, the vampire girl. I can't believe it was that face behind that mask all this time. She's gorgeous.
Jessie looked furious when she saw everyone's attention was on me, and to my shock, I was actually voted as that year's prom queen. As I was being crowned, suddenly Jessie came charging at me on the stage, trying to rip the crown off my head. But then something strange happened. The bullies who used to pick on me saved me. They all stopped Jessie and took her away.
Hey, don't lay a finger on her, old prom queen.
That was amazing. Things at school started getting better. Everyone was super nice to me now. Luca was tutoring kids after school and his dad came back to work. Soon nobody paid any attention to Jessie and her gang anymore, and all they could do was give me death glares. But one day after gym class, I was quickly changing in the dark locker room when suddenly Jessie and her minions barged in. One of them quickly grabbed my hoodie while the others grabbed me by my hands and legs and started carrying me outside. Stop! Don't do that! Let me go! The more I screamed, the tighter they held on to me. Soon after, they dragged me out into the sun and pinned me to the ground.
Heck, you lied to me. You're not ugly, so you must be a vampire. I hope you melt and disappear. Haha.
Suddenly, someone pushed the girls away. It was a teacher and Luca. While the teacher dragged the bullies off to the principal, Luca quickly took me inside as I cried like crazy.
You're okay now? And your skin, it looks totally fine. It's not even red. Luna, does it hurt or burn?
I looked all over my arms and realized he was right. There were no rashes and it didn't itch or burn at all. Was my condition gone for good? Or had it just been all in my head? When I went back home that day, my parents were shocked to see me.
Luna, where's your hoodie and your mask?
I threw them all away. Mom, Dad, I was out in the sun and nothing happened to me. Maybe I'm cured. Unexpectedly, my parents hugged me tightly, and what they said next was truly like a bolt from the blue.
Sweetheart, it was all just a lie. You don't have any problem at all.
But the doctor?
The doctor was fake, too. Actually, you were just having a normal reaction to sunlight because you rarely went outside. He said what we wanted him to say to protect you.
Protect? No way! I never believed you guys because you hated me and wanted to get rid of me. You even got rid of my cat.
No, we didn't, sweetheart. It just ran away. And we never hated you. When you were growing up, your mother and I were working as undercover government agents. Our actions and work might have made you feel ignored.
What?
Moreover, we didn't want the enemy to discover our identities. That's why we had you wear a mask and hoodie when going outside.
What? My parents were secret agents. That was the last thing I'd ever expected. But suddenly their weird behavior made sense. I wish you'd told me sooner. I could have kept everything a secret.
Just the two of us enduring was more than enough. We always wanted you to live comfortably and not have to worry. We're sorry, Luna.
We should have been better parents to you. We love you so much.
I love you too, guys. Hi, I'm Ella, and this is my story. Please like and subscribe. My twin sister Arya and I look identical in every way, right down to the dimple on our left cheeks. And I hate it. Anyone who thinks it's cool to be identical twins is stupid. Mom and Dad thought it was super cute to dress us up in matching outfits all the time. But growing up, it started getting so annoying. No one could tell us apart, not even her parents, so they just called us the twins or the girls. It's like I had no identity of my own. I was just part of a pair. Yeah, we got a lot of buy one, get one free jokes. Also, it was everyone's favorite game to try and spot any differences.
I think this one's shorter. Her nose is bigger, right?
Her ears stick out more. Also, if I pinch your cheek, will your twin feel it?
If I punch your face, will your mother feel it? You're basically a part of her. We were in the same class in school, and we did all the same extracurricular activities. And there was always so much pressure not to be the worst twin, because everyone made that instant comparison.
Ella got an A on her maths test. Why do you have a C, Arya?
Arya beat you in that race. By your mind, Ella, aren't your legs just as long?
Why was it so hard to understand that we didn't have matching abilities to go with our matching faces? But by 4th grade, our personalities started changing. I was academically stronger, but Arya was more athletic. We'd both been attending dance classes since we were kids, but I eventually dropped out because she was clearly better. I started slipping into the quiet nerd mold while she was more outgoing and loud, so she always got more attention. Like on our 10th birthday, Arya got her way, and the whole party was Hannah Montana themed. All my Harry Potter requests were ignored. Mom had baked our birthday cake and it read, "Happy birthday to our beautiful beauty, Arya and Elle?" Mom, what happened to my name?
Arya told me she wanted this text on the cake, honey, and there just wasn't enough space left.
Our classmates were gathered around Arya as they danced away to her playlist. I spotted a new kid sitting in a corner and playing some game. Hey, you think this party sucks as much as I do?
Yeah, kinda. Sorry, wanna play?
I was having a really good time till Arya and her friend started a crazy water fight and attacked us too. And they ruined the boy's gaming console. He left the party crying and never talked to me again. Yeah, Arya always found a way to ruin things for me. Then one day in 7th grade, we found Mom waiting for us at home with an envelope each.
Oh my god, no way! You signed me up for the tween beauty pageant? Oh, thanks, Mom.
A flyer for the middle school mathletes?
Well, what do you think? One for my beauty and one for my brainiac? It's perfect!
It's fine, I guess. From then on, my sister got more and more popular, and I became more invisible. By the time we were in high school, Arya's pageant trophies were on full display all over the house, while my mathlete trophies collected dust in my room. My parents clearly loved to show her off more. Well, at least my mathlete's teammate Eugene thought I was really cool.
The way you gave that answer right before the buzzer went off. Ugh, what an adrenaline rush. You're so smart!
You're too nice, Eugene.
And you're like a 45-degree angle, you know? 'Cause 45 degrees is an acute angle. You're a cutie.
Aha, yeah, good one.
So I was thinking, maybe you'd like to have my phone number?
I was only half listening because just then, the football team captain Justin walked into the cafeteria. Man, he was some descendant of Hercules, just sheer perfection. I'd never have the guts to say hi to him, and he'd never notice me.
Ella?
Yes, sure. I'll take your phone number.
So you'll call me then?
If the need ever arises, then definitely, yes. Thanks, buddy. I gotta go to class now. Then one day, things took a bit of a turn when Aria came down with the flu.
Ugh, my head hurts and I have a fever. I can't perform at the mall pageant today.
Oh no, my poor baby. Go lie down and Ella will bring you some tea.
She can make her own tea, and I'm busy.
She's unwell and you're not doing anything important. Now go.
I was so sick of being second to my sister. But when I got back with the tea, I found her snoring. And then I got a crazy idea. Next to her bed was her pageant bag, all packed and ready to go. I grabbed it and snuck out the front door. I was just as beautiful as Aria, and I was gonna prove it. When I got to the mall, everyone was smiling and waving at me. I felt like a movie star. Her dress fit perfectly, and the show went super smoothly.
And the winner is Aria!
Just as I was accepting the trophy, I heard the most annoying voice in the world.
She isn't Aria. I am. Mom couldn't find you at home. And when I saw my bag gone, I knew exactly where you were. How dare you?
So what? You're just mad that I could be as good as you any day?
Shut up, loser!
You mean winner? Aria leapt onto the stage and attacked me. The fight not only lost us the trophy, but it also got us banned from all pageants in the area for life. Our parents were furious with me. I was grounded for 2 weeks, and Aria basically pretended I didn't exist after that. She even blocked me on all social media. But at school, it seemed like everyone had heard about the pageant fight, and people were noticing me more. And I almost turned to jelly when Justin approached me.
Hey, not Aria, right?
Right. What's my name? I forgot. Ella.
I'm Justin, the football captain. I love that gutsy stunt you pulled at the mall yesterday. We're having cheer tryouts tomorrow. Why don't you come too?
Cheer tryouts? Sure, I'll be there.
Perfect. But, change your look or something. I want to be able to tell you apart from Aria, okay?
Sure, Justin. I've wanted to change my look anyway. I was so excited for a fresh start that at home, I looked up some videos online on how to cut my hair. I decided bangs would be easiest, so I went to the bathroom, plugged in my dad's electric razor, and cut myself some bangs. And they turned out super cute. That was until they moved a bit and I saw that I'd shaved off my eyebrows too. I was horrified. There was no way I could go to tryouts looking like that. I couldn't even leave the bathroom looking like this. I started rummaging through the cabinets to find something that could help fix my eyebrows. I found a bottle of spray-on hair that my dad sometimes used to cover his bald spot. I aimed it at my forehead and sprayed, but it made me look like a caveman with a bushy unibrow. I scrubbed it off just as there was a knock at the door.
Ella, are you in there? Better not be stealing my makeup again.
Just washing my face, Mom. I'll be right out. Oh, I could use my mom's makeup to hide the damage. I found an eyebrow pencil and quickly scrawled them on as best as I could. Then I brushed my bangs over my forehead and snuck quietly out of the bathroom.
There you are. Wait, did you just cut your hair?
Some people are just desperate for attention. So pathetic.
Just trying something different. Mom, I have to go run to the store and get some things for a school project, so bye. At the store, I was lucky enough to find the perfect solution: tattoo sticker eyebrows. I rushed home with them and went to my room to try them on. Just put them on, spray a little water, and voila. I set the timer on my phone and laid back with the washcloth over my forehead, awaiting my beautiful new eyebrows. But when I looked at the results, I almost fainted. They looked super crooked. I scrubbed and scrubbed, but they just wouldn't come off. I lay in my bed, sobbing uncontrollably.
Why are you making sounds like a dying whale? OMG! Ha ha ha! What happened to your face?
I just wanted to change my look for the cheer tryouts, but it's all gone so horribly wrong. What am I gonna do?
Well, maybe if you hadn't pretended to be me and ruined my pageant career.
Wait, that's it? You can pretend to be me. Oh, please, Aria, I need this. Justin himself asked me. You know I've always had the biggest crush on him.
Yeah, I've read your Dear Diary sob stories.
What?
Not important right now. And okay, since you're begging and you look so ugly, it's almost sad. I'll do it, but only if you do my homework for a whole year.
Are you kidding? Ugh, fine, I'll do it. Just get me the cheerleading spot, okay?
You got yourself a deal, Ugo.
Mom let me stay at home for a few days when she saw what I'd done, and Aria left for school the next morning. but I didn't really trust her not to mess things up for me at the tryouts. I needed a spy, so I called Eugene. Hey, I know this is a lot to ask, but I'm really unwell. And I asked my twin, Aria, to do the cheer tryouts for me. Could you just go and see how she does? I don't know who else I can trust.
Of course I'll do it! Want me to drop by later with some soup too? We could watch some Luna's videos, or I could show you my cat's pictures.
That sounds amazing! But what I have is really contagious. So you'll report to me soon, right?
You betcha!
You're the best, Eugene! Eugene's report tallied with what Aria told me. She'd performed a flawless audition, and I was in. I couldn't wait to go back and spend time with Justin. Thankfully, the tattoos wore off in a few days, and my eyebrows were coming back, so I could fill in the rest with pencil. I was ready to return to school. But that evening, Eugene told me that he'd seen Aria and Justin kissing, and when she got home that day, she was getting out of Justin's car. I ran down to the living room and opened the window to eavesdrop.
It's so hard to say goodbye to you, babe.
It's only till tomorrow. Coochie poochie poo!
And that'll feel like an eternity. My Aria! Baby boo!
Oh, and what the heck? The minute Aria walked in, I jumped in her way like an angry lioness. What in God's name did I just see?
Oh, you mean me and Justin, silly? Didn't you want to ask him out? I just did it for you as you...
No, don't lie to me, witch. I heard him say, Aria, boo, boo, boo. He knows you're Aria and not me, Ella. And then her face turned totally evil.
Yeah, okay. Whatevs. I took a picture of you in your sleep and showed him your freaky eyebrows and told him you'd sent me in your place. We had a really good laugh and we just bonded. You took away my pageant life, I took away your guy. Trust me, he's way out of your league anyway.
I let out a snarl and attacked her. My parents came running when we crashed into a table and pulled us apart, and I swore I'd never speak to her for the rest of my life. But watching her and Justin together in school and thinking of how they must have made fun of me made my heart burn. And then I found something in the mail one day that gave me the perfect opportunity for revenge. I knew I was successful when Aria screamed at me in the school hallway one day.
Ella, what did you do?
What are you talking about? Something boring, probably.
Why do I have a rejection letter from the dance academy of my dreams which says that my audition was way below their standards? I never went to any audition.
Oh yeah, that. See, I received the invitation for the audition and I decided to go as you. Now, I haven't danced in a really long time, so I was kinda rusty, but I thought I did an impressive chicken dance.
I will kill you!
Well, that was effectively the end of our relationship. Somehow it didn't feel as good as I thought it would. No one at home was talking to me now, and even Eugene seemed distant. Am I imagining it, or are you avoiding me?
No, Ella, you're not. I just don't like what you did to your sister.
What? She started it!
No, you started it when you went to the pageant as her.
You don't really know everything about us, Eugene. It gets really tiring being overlooked and invisible.
Actually, I do know something about that. I literally joined the mathletes to get close to you. I dropped every possible hint that I like you. And you're not so dumb that you didn't pick up on it. But you just used me when you needed me. And now you need me again. 'Cause I'm guessing other people in your life aren't talking to you. Well, I have a little more self-respect than that. Goodbye, Ella.
The last few months of high school were really lonely. Aria got into an amazing dance school across the country, but she still didn't seem willing to forgive me. And even though we hadn't gotten along in a really long time, I felt sad that she'd be out of my life soon. But during the summer break, Aria suddenly fell really sick. After a number of tests, the doctor told us that both her kidneys were weak and she needed a healthy one soon. And of course, I was a perfect match.
No freaking way! I'm not taking your kidney!
Are you crazy? Listen, guys, can you give us a minute? When my parents and the doctor left, I turned to her. Look, you need this, okay? I know I did some awful things, and I'm really sorry. And for better or for worse, you're my other half, and I can't lose you. So just shut up and stop smirking, and you're taking my kidney.
Say you're my better half, Aria!
Don't push it!
Okay. I know I haven't been very nice to you either, and I'm sorry too. I didn't even like Justin that much, so thank God he cheated on me and we broke up.
Serves you right. Which reminds me, I gotta call Eugene before the surgery and apologize to him too.
What kind of name is Eugene? That's Latin for ugly girl?
While Latin is a dead language, Aria, much like your love life, some things never change, do they?
Hi, I'm Aria from Atlanta. And before I tell you a story you'll never forget, please like and subscribe. I lived in a mansion with my single mom, who ran a successful makeup chain. Mom was really particular and a total neat freak, but I was her total opposite. an absolute mess.
Aria, fix your hair. You look like a troll, and wipe that mud off your face.
Since Mom started a career as a supermodel, she wanted me to follow in her footsteps. So when I turned 11, she got me into a huge fashion show. But I took one step on the runway and fell on my butt. Sorry, Mom tried her best to tame me, but I showed no sign of improvement. It was just the way I was. The only person who accepted that was my bestie, Annie. Her mom worked for us, and sometimes Annie would tag along to help her mom out. Not only was Annie super funny and a great cook, she was a low-key genius and would help me study all the time. Why am I not getting this? Am I stupid?
No, you're not. You're just looking at it the wrong way.
She was the reason I didn't fail my middle school, and everyone adored her, especially Mom. She often said that Annie was beautiful and reminded her of herself when she was younger. Mom liked Annie so much that she even invited her to join us on a trip to France. We were having so much fun till this woman walked up to us and said to Mom,
"Oh, wow. Your daughter is so beautiful. Like a fresh daisy."
"Excuse me, I'm her daughter."
Really? Well, I'm sure you have an amazing personality.
I wanted to kick that woman's French butt. It's not that I didn't like her complimenting Annie, but it made me jealous that Mom didn't even correct. And after that day, I just didn't like it when Mom paid Annie any attention. One afternoon, I came home from tennis practice and found Annie and Mom raiding my closet. What's going on?
I'm giving Annie some of your old clothes. Doesn't she look fabulous?
The way they were laughing and prancing around without me, it made my blood boil. I snatched a skirt out of Annie's hand, then started shouting at Mom. "That's my stuff. You can't just give it away."
I'm so sorry, I'll leave. You can be so selfish. Annie and her mother are dirt poor. She could use these clothes. You were never going to wear them again anyway.
I don't care. Next time, ask me before you give my things away like that. I ran to my room and shut the door. But after a while, I realized that Mom was right. I was being selfish, so I packed a few boxes full of clothes that I knew Annie would like and went to her house. I'm really sorry about the way I acted. Here, you can have them all and more. Will you forgive me?
Of course I forgive you. You're my best friend, silly.
Over the years, Annie and I grew closer, and I even convinced Mom to pay Annie's tuition so we could go to the same school. On her first day, I introduced Annie to my friends, but they just laughed in her face.
Oh my God, who did her hair? A blind woman?
Ooh, look at that skirt. It stinks. At least it's better than your stinky mouth. Now, if you don't mind, we have a class to get to.
You didn't have to do that. They're your friends.
Yeah, but you're my best friend. There's a difference, and it's called having each other's back, even though Annie had a trashy first day. Over time, her sunny personality won over all my friends. Not to mention, she was great at everything. Annie tried for the cheer squad, and they made her captain. She baked cookies for the whole class one time, and the kids couldn't stop praising her. She was voted most beautiful, most likely to succeed, and had the highest grades in school. Annie even ran for class president and won by a landslide.
I've never met a girl like Annie before. She's the best. Can you ask her to come to my slumber party?
Why? Isn't that only for close friends?
Yeah, and she's one of us now. You should be happy.
Only I wasn't. I loved Annie, but I couldn't help feeling jealous of how perfect she was. And then one day, while I was having milkshakes with her at the mall, someone spooked me half to death.
Hey, Aria Banana, it was Owen.
He was the son of one of Mom's investors and my childhood crush. Are you trying to give me a heart attack? And look at that! You ruined my shirt.
Oh, let me fix that for you.
Annie quickly grabbed a can of club soda and dabbed at the stain. Within seconds, my shirt was all clean.
Wow, that was brilliant. I'm Owen.
She's Annie, and we're late.
Hey, wait. If you guys are free this weekend, would you want to come for a science exhibition?
Science on a Saturday? How boring. I'd rather stick a needle in my eye. You're such a nerd, Owen.
I'd love to come, great.
I'll text you the address.
As Annie and Owen exchanged numbers, I just stood there in shock. Owen had never been this friendly to me, and I'd known him for years. I'd even asked him out once, but he said I was too young, and he just wanted to be friends. But that weekend, after Annie came back from the exhibition, she told me that Owen had asked her out. What? That's not possible. He never dates girls younger than him. What did you do?
Nothing. We just have a lot in common and talked about science stuff.
I was so shocked at what Annie told me that I couldn't stop myself from running over to Owen's house. You said you don't date girls my age. Annie is 3 months younger than me.
I know I said that, but honestly, I was just politely rejecting you. We have nothing in common, and with Annie, I feel complete. She's special, and I think I'm in love.
You met her yesterday, you idiot. I wanted to punch Owen in the face, but I settled for kicking dirt and walking back home. It took me a while, but I somehow made peace with Owen and Annie dating. But slowly, Annie and I started drifting apart. She had no time for me and was always busy hanging out with Owen. You want to hang out tonight?
I can't. I have a date with Owen.
What about tomorrow?
Cheerleading practice. Maybe we can squeeze something in next week.
And the next week, she made another excuse, and I was left alone again. I turned to my friends for comfort, but they didn't want to hang out either. Not without Annie. I was furious at how quickly Annie had taken over my entire life. My friends, the boy I liked, everything. I was so mad I could scream. So I did. At my driver for driving too slow, at the gardener for cutting the grass too short. I even shouted at the teacher in class. Who the heck cares about an isosceles triangle? It's just a stupid triangle. I went straight to detention after that. I took a seat at the back when this girl spoke to me.
You're Annie's bestie, right?
I have a name. It's Aria.
Oh. Whoa, snappy. I was just saying that your best friend sucks. I hate her.
This girl was the first person I'd met who hated Annie, ever since she joined the school. We got talking, and soon I started hanging out with a new crowd. They liked to ditch school, cheat on tests, and sneak out late on school nights. But the best thing about them was that none of them was in love with Annie. After a long time, I was finally having a little bit of fun. But, as always, Annie had to poop on my parade.
You missed class. We had a really big quiz.
I don't care.
Well, you should, because you'll fail your classes if you don't show up for the test.
Why are you acting like you care? You've been ignoring me for the longest time now, so ignore a little more and stay away.
I'm sorry, I haven't been around much. Maybe we can hang out tomorrow. Owen and I are going to the museum. Maybe you could join us.
Maybe you shouldn't be such a big nerd and mind your own business. Annie didn't bother me after that, and I didn't mind either. I had a new set of friends, and I was happy. Then a week later, the school announced the annual parent-teacher meeting, and it was a disaster. My grades were at an all-time low, and Mom was furious. But I wasn't the only one suffering. Everyone had low grades in my group, and some of them were even failing.
I hate those stupid teachers. They think they can rule our lives with their dumb homework and grades.
My dad grounded me for a month for failing a boring class. He took away my Mercedes. What am I supposed to do? Walk everywhere?
Yeah, teachers suck.
I wish we could teach them a lesson.
Maybe we could.
How?
We can ruin their stupid teacher's lounge. We snuck into the school late the next evening, and we trashed the teacher's lounge. We spray painted the walls, poked the microwave and the TV, and we stuffed fish into the vents. We rushed out of there and ran straight into Annie.
Aria, what are you doing?
I could ask you the same thing.
I was studying at the library. What?
Just then, we spotted Mr. Stilson, the janitor, and I rushed past Annie without saying a word. And the next morning, I was sweating bricks when my friends approached me.
What are you gonna do about Annie?
What do you mean?
The principal is investigating the matter of the teacher's lounge. And if she says anything, we're dead meat.
She won't say anything. She loves me too much.
Okay, yeah. That explains why she went behind your back and stole the guy you liked.
I didn't want to think about it, but my friend was right. We could get expelled, and someone had to take the fall. So I made a decision. And later that day, I walked up to the principal's office. But to my surprise, Annie, my new friends, and the janitor, Mr. Silson, were all there.
Mr. Stilson just told me how he saw you and your friends in the hallway after the teacher's lounge was vandalized.
I don't know what Mr. Silson said to you, but my friends and I were there to study. In fact, I saw Annie come out of the teacher's lounge.
What?
She was the one who vandalized the teacher's lounge. I even saw her putting some of the paint cans in her locker. You can check if you don't believe me. The principal checked Annie's locker and found 2 cans of spray paint that I'd hidden there. Annie was expelled immediately. And after that day, she just never came to my place with her mom. I didn't expect her to. What I'd done was horrible. A few days later, I finally built up enough courage to apologize.
How could you do this to me?
I'm sorry, but I had no choice. I would have been expelled. It would have gone on my permanent record. I couldn't let that happen. I am supposed to take over my mom's company one day.
But I lost everything.
Not really. You didn't have much to begin with. And honestly, you weren't even supposed to be at that school. You land on your feet. You don't need a college degree to be a maid. Annie slapped me, then slammed the door in my face. The next morning, her mother quit, and they left. I tried to reach out to Annie, but she ignored my calls. Couldn't blame her. I hated myself for the things I'd said. Things weren't the same after Annie left. My new friends ditched me soon, and all the other kids resented me for getting Annie kicked out of school. When I went off to college, I tried to make new friends. But they were either really shallow or just wanted to use me for my money. I felt so lonely, so I focused all of my attention on my job at my mom's company. But on the day of my mom's retirement party, she called me into her office.
I've decided not to name you CEO of my company.
What? But I've been working so hard. You promised that I would take over once you retired.
I did. And I appreciate your hard work too. But this business is all about making relationships, and you're not good at that.
I'm not? You have to give me a chance.
Honey, there are no second chances in business, and you're really not cut out for it.
And now she was telling me that after all the time I wasted in making Mom happy. I felt betrayed and lost. Now I know how it feels when someone you trust stabs you in the back. This is exactly what I did to Annie. And if I had to start over in life, it had to be by apologizing to her. I looked Annie up online and learned that she had married Owen and moved to California to become a celebrity chef. She owned one of the most popular restaurants in Hollywood. I paid a fortune to rent out the restaurant for an entire night and ordered Annie's most famous dish. After I was done, I made a special request to thank the chef. When Annie came out, I took one look at her and started crying.
Aria? Is that you?
Annie, I know you probably hate me, and you should, but I have to say this. Your friendship was the most valuable thing I had, and I threw it away. Please, please forgive me. I wish I could turn back time, but I can't.
Hey, listen. I'm not holding on to any grudges. Whatever happened is in the past now. I was really angry for a while, but I've moved on. And so should you.
With that, she took me home and made me meet her young daughter. And on that day, I vowed to be better. A better friend, a better person, a better version of me. Hi, my name is Rose, and I'm from Germany. Please like and subscribe to Luna AVATA. I was born to parents who were rich, so rich that we had several maids, chefs, butlers, and drivers who worked around the clock for me and my crazy family. Dad was a genius on the stock trading platform, and Mom was Miss World in 1998. I loved my family, but they were so used to being spoiled that our entire lives revolved around money. Once when I was 7, I wanted to go camping. So Dad hired a set designer to create a camp set in our massive backyard. He also hired a weird mountain man to entertain us with stories and how to make a campfire.
Who wants to hear a bear story?
Yeah, I do. But my sister Lucy, who was 2 years older than me, had her head stuck in her phone. So our camping experience eventually got boring. And soon after, as I grew up, our family hardly spoke to each other. When I was at school, I was crowned the computer genius. Lucy was popular on social media, and we were both the hottest girls in school. Once when I was in 8th grade, 10 boys asked me and my sister out all at once. These boys were so lame and too desperate for our liking. Lucy and I had a checklist. The guys that we dated needed to be smart, rich, and hot. I wasn't worried so much about the rich part. I preferred intelligent guys, and in my school, all of them were rich but also total smurf brains. And then, one day when I was in the 11th grade, a new boy joined her school and took my title of computer genius. I was kind of jealous at first, but when he smiled at me, I melted, having a huge crush on him. Would you like to go out for ice cream sometime?
Will we be celebrating my new title in the school?
Don't rub it in. After that, Gregory and I became an item. He drove a Ferrari and seemed much richer than my family because he lived in a mansion much bigger than mine. Once, when I was in the 12th grade, I decided to visit him at his house unannounced. And when I got to his house, his parents acted very weirdly. I'm here for Greg.
Oh, he's upstairs.
Okay, can I see him? When they finally let me in, I went to Gregory's room and found him busy with something on his computer. Greg?
What? Who let you in?
I'm sorry. I thought I would surprise you. He looked really angry.
I hate surprises. Don't ever come here without calling first.
I was so mad at him when I left. I felt like just breaking up with him. But then he came over to my house with flowers.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have snapped at you. Please forgive me.
I don't know. You acted so strange. What was more important than me?
I was actually planning a surprise trip for the both of us to Thailand.
I immediately forgave him. He was so romantic, and he obviously loved me since he was spending so much on me. We went to Thailand just for the weekend, and my parents liked Gregory, so they also trusted him while we were there. Gregory was all romantic at first, but then he changed when I wanted to go shopping.
Shopping for clothes? Did you bring your credit card to pay for all those clothes?
What? But you said to take whatever you want and you'll pay.
Yeah, but I didn't expect you to buy the entire store.
Lucky for me, I did have my dad's credit card and managed to pay for my stuff. But the next day, I woke up to a shock. Gregory was gone. He left a note along with my plane ticket back home. He broke up with me on a note saying, "Nice knowing you goodbye." What a jerk! I felt like my world was falling apart. Why would he break up with me this way? When I tried to call his number, it went to voicemail. I had to gather my strength and head back home, and maybe then find out why he suddenly just left. Could it be because of all the clothes I bought? But when I got back home, my family was on edge. Everyone was pacing up and down, and as soon as I entered, Dad rushed up to me.
Rose, where's my credit card? Someone hacked all my trading accounts using my credit card, which is linked to every other account. So, Rose, you have to tell me where that credit card is.
I was totally freaking out and tore my whole bag apart looking for that card. And then I asked Dad to take me to Gregory's house, and when we got there, his mansion was empty. Oh my God, Dad, I think Gregory took all our money. Dad looked at me silently. At first, I thought he was going to blame me since Gregory was my boyfriend, but all he did was remain quiet. But Mom and Lucy went berserk.
We are broke because of your scheming, scamming boyfriend.
How was I supposed to know he was a fraudster? He drove a Ferrari and you liked him, Mom.
Yeah, I did. But he was still your boyfriend. You should have analyzed his intentions.
And then Lucy looked at her phone and screamed like someone died. What happened?
The Wi-Fi isn't working. How am I supposed to post my selfies from this morning?
Oh, I was supposed to pay for that today, but not anymore. Girls, I'll be in my office. I have no idea how I'm going to fix this.
I felt like everyone blamed me for this. And after 2 weeks, all our maids, chefs, butlers, drivers, gardeners, and pool cleaners quit because we couldn't pay them. Dad soon started investigating the matter, which was going to take some time, so we all had to adapt to some changes in our overly expensive lifestyle. We managed to keep the house, and since Dad paid our school fees for the entire year, Lucy and I didn't have to change schools, which was a relief.
Okay, so at school nobody knows we're poor, so let's just try and keep it that way.
Of course. Why would I want anyone to know that we're poor? Maybe because it's
all your fault.
I am sick and tired of everyone in this family blaming me for everything. That's just so much pressure. I started crying and Lucy felt bad and apologized.
Okay, I'm sorry, but our life just sucks so much right now.
While we sat sulking about our poverty-stricken life, we heard Mom scream from the kitchen.
Somebody help.
Lucy and I ran down to the kitchen and found the stove on fire, and Mom trying to put it out with a tablecloth, and it was reaching for the ceiling.
Ah, it won't stop quickly. Get some water.
While Lucy thought a glass of water would help, I brought the fire extinguisher and thank God was able to put out the fire. But now our entire kitchen was ruined, and there was smoke all over the place. We gotta sit outside until the smoke is gone. Come on. We all sat outside on the stairs, and Mom was in tears telling me how she was trying to cook, but ended up ruining the kitchen.
I guess we'll have to order food. I hope they give us some discount.
Right then, Dad came in, all smiles.
Hello? Everybody?
Oh, did you get our money back?
Nope. I found a job. I'm going back to selling insurance, and once I make some good commission, I'll start trading again and get all the money that we lost.
Well, Daddy's plan didn't follow through the way he saw it. 3 months went by and we were still struggling, and the only thing Dad could afford was food. So I decided it was time to get a part-time job as a waitress.
But Rose, if you work as a waitress, everyone in school will know.
Yes, I know, but maybe if I work I can help Dad pay for the Wi-Fi. Lucy immediately smiled, but she wouldn't dare try to get a job since she cared so much about what people would think. The restaurant I worked at was a classy place where all the rich and mighty dine. And one day, while I served a bunch of top-class businessmen, I overheard their discussion about new digital devices. I got excited and couldn't contain myself. I have plenty of ideas for new devices. Imagine having a portable hard drive is something almost like an iPod, but with more space. That way, users will be able to carry all of their important information on one small iPod. We could even make it have a video presentation for business meetings. After I was done babbling, they looked at me, stunned. Then the tall man with a big forehead was so rude.
You can just get our order, please.
I walked away, feeling embarrassed, and then the next worst thing happened when I waited at my next table. They were girls from my school who envied my sister and me all the time, and the worst of them all was Charlotte.
Wow, you work as a waiter? Ha 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 ha. This must be my lucky day. Wait, I have to take a picture of this.
Oh, Charlotte, get over yourself. I work here and earn my own money, unlike you, a spoiled brat forever.
Ugh, that's no way to talk to your customers. Where's the manager? I want to file a complaint.
He's out to lunch, so can I take your order? It was the most dreadful day of my life. But the next day when I went to school, everyone called me Waiter Girl. Since Charlotte posted my picture on Instagram, and during recess, while Lucy and I were minding our own business, Charlotte started being so annoying with her stupid minions.
We've noticed that you two bring lunches to school these days. Should we open up a charity fund dedicated to the richest in the school? Oh, let me rephrase. The poor, smelly girls of the school.
Shut up, Chatroulette. Lucy got up, angrily clenching her fist, and I calmed her down. Don't worry about her, Lucy. She's just a jealous girl who has no goals.
At least my goal is not to be a waiter. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, your goal is probably to be a brainless peanut all your life since you get big fat zeros on all of your tests. Charlotte eventually left us alone, but then after school, Dad picked us up in a rundown car, and Charlotte got the entire school to come and watch us get in it.
Oh my gosh, where did your dad buy this junk from?
At that point, I had had enough of Charlotte's farty face. Just leave me and my family alone. Our financial life is none of your business. Dad was shocked when we got home, and he told us that his contract at work was about to end. So he sold his Land Rover and got us a scrappy car. Life was getting even worse for us. I put on my waiter clothes and got out of the house to work an extra shift. While I was at the restaurant, I found my manager watching Luna AVATA. Wow, you like Luna AVATA?
Yeah. Is that a problem?
No problem. I was just surprised.
There was a guy who came looking for you. He left his number.
When I called the number, a part of me was hoping it was Greg calling to say he was sorry and he wanted to give us all our money back. But it wasn't. Hello, you were looking for me at the restaurant.
Yes, our investors liked your pitch that you suddenly decided to blurt out while you were serving our table. We have an offer for you if you could put all those ideas on paper.
Yes, I can. I left my extra shift. I went home and started putting ideas together for new devices. I didn't want to say anything to my family yet. I just wanted to get the offer first. The next day, I met with those business people again, and I was blown out of my mind when they told me I was going to get $100,000. I was on cloud nine. I immediately signed the contract, and they even asked me to stay in contact if I had any other ideas. I couldn't believe this was actually happening, and when I showed my family the check, we celebrated all night.
Rose, you just saved our lives.
Does this mean we can get our chef back? Because I'm getting really tired of eating baked beans every day.
Not just yet. Dad needs to first work his magic on the trading platform, and then maybe. I was so happy to see my family relaxed again. Lucy wanted us to go shopping the next day, since all of our heels were starting to lose their texture. 2 pairs, and that's it, right? We need to use all this money wisely.
Yes, I know. But what if I see a 3rd pair that I like?
Lucy! Just before we could head off to the mall, Dad screamed from the living room.
Rose, you have to see this.
When I went to check what he was talking about, the news was on, and Gregory was handcuffed and sentenced to prison for the next 20 years for being one of the biggest fraudsters in the city. And the parents that he said were his parents were just actors. I felt so relieved. And Dad eventually got a call from the credit card company. With good news, all his money would be returned. Soon after that, I completed school, got my degree in computer science, and became the next richest person in our city. And then, one day I even had my own business meeting at that classy restaurant.
Can I take your order?
Charlotte, you work here now?
Yes. So, can I take your order?
I didn't laugh or insult her because there's really nothing wrong with being a waitress. We all have to start somewhere if we want to make it.